Thank you, Chair. I am AMELIA, ARREGUIN, speaking on behalf of the CBD Women Caucus, an alliance representing women, grassroots women organizations and networks and their agencies, in working to advance women and girls' empowerment and gender justice in the work of the CBD. Frustration is bound to creep into the eyes when reading the 5th edition of the Global Biodiversity Outlook, which marks the end of an era, the Aichi era. Thoughts about insufficient efforts constantly start to haunt our heads as we read through the document, and many questions arise regarding what has to happen so that as humanity, we react to the biodiversity crisis and act with enough ambition to move towards coexistence with nature and collective equitable action. As women constituency, another worsening trend that deeply concerns us is the continuous invisibility of our rights, contributions, and priorities in biodiversity realm. We are deeply concerned about the growing gender-based violence in the environmental sector, particularly against women and girls who defend their land and territories. We call attention to the increase in workloads due to the gendered unfair division of labor in biodiversity sector, as well as the dangers associated with misnamed natural disasters resulting from ecosystems degradation. These trends concern us mainly because the rising curve of inequality and the curve of biodiversity loss combined hinders women and girls from enjoyment of their full life and their right to a healthy environment. The GBO5 highlights that there is a need to strengthen further the integration of gender, the role of IPLC, and the level of stakeholder engagement. It notes that the NBSAP submitted to date, gender considerations are reflected by only 76 parties. We acknowledge the efforts that some parties are making to address gender considerations in their biodiversity policy, but more needs to be done. Women and girls are more than a reference. They are more than a word. They are half the population and agents of change in sustainable use of biodiversity. They are the first-line actors in the management and conservation of biodiversity. They also are key knowledge holders and play an integral role in the intergenerational transfer of knowledge and genetic diversity conservation. Women and girls should be fully integrated in the such transition strategies proposed by GBO5. Some recommendations presented in the GBO5 are welcomed, but now the task is how those considerations will be further implemented within the post-2020 GBF, and how the new Gender Plan of Action to the CBD can help turning these recommendations into actions to ensure social, economic, and environmental justice of and for women and girls in biodiversity sector. Thank you.